Hi everyone, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. With the threat of wars and rumors of war, and EMPs, if there was a major power outage here in the U.S., those on the west coast of the United States would be up the creek without a paddle, and that's my opinion. If you lived on the west coast, I would try and move. It's not like it was during the 50s and 60s and 70s. We no longer have a missile defense system that I feel, in my opinion, is reliable. If there was a major power outage, you can only go 3 days without water. So if there's an EMP, you better stock up on water. Fill up the bathtub and every container that you can find. People can only go about 3 weeks without food. After about 3 days, all the stores would probably be empty. Desperate people do desperate things, so you need to stock up on food besides water. The west coast of the United States has only 2 bases to protect our country from incoming missiles or attack. The one is in Fort Greeley, California. The other one is Vandenberg Air Force Base in California by Santa Barbara, California. When I was a kid in high school living in Pacifica, they used to have a Minuteman base there, a Minuteman missile system for protection. Well, that was taken out, and now it's part of the California parks. We have the misconception that cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle, Washington is protected by the National Missile Defense System. What it is, they are now protected by the U.S. Missile Defense Agency, MDA, rather than city-specific defenses. So part of this protection is the ground-based mid-course defense. The GMD system is designed to protect the U.S. homeland, not just Los Angeles or San Diego or San Francisco or Seattle, Washington. It is designed to protect the homeland from intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBM attacks, particularly from rogue nations like North Korea and Iran. Ground-based interceptors, GBISs, as of 2018, 44 interceptors were deployed, with 40 at Fort Greely, Alaska, and 4 at Vandenberg Space Air Force Base. Those interceptors targeted missiles in their mid-course phase outside of the atmosphere, using exo-atmospheric kill vehicles. They are designed to shoot down ICBMs outside of the Earth's atmosphere. They are a kinetic weapon that intercepts and destroys intercontinental ballistic missiles during their mid-course phase while they travel through space, using a hit-to-kill technology, meaning it collides directly. So you better hope no more than 44 are directed at the west coast of the United States, because that's all they have. Now they have an early warning radar, including the upgraded early warning radar at Vandenberg and a long-range discrimination radar in Alaska. Now the GMD system is intended for limited ICBM threats with simple countermeasures. It has a mixed test record with a single shot intercept probability of 56%. So they figure maybe about half will still come through, and you better hope there's not more than 44 of them, because it's one-time use only. It is not designed to counter large-scale attacks from advanced adversaries such as Russia or China. Now for the west coast of the U.S., they also have the Aegis ballistic missile defense. It's deployed on U.S. Navy ships, defends against short and intermediate ballistic missiles, primarily in the mid-course phase, and it also has its limited capacity against ICBMs. Navy ships patrolling the Pacific could provide a sea-based defense layer for Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle, Washington, particularly against regional missile threats or short-range attacks. Then they have the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, THAAD, THAAD. It's a mobile land-based system designed to intercept short, medium, and intermediate range ballistic missiles in their terminal phase as they re-enter the atmosphere. While THAAD is primarily deployed overseas, such as South Korea, Middle East, Guam, it can be rapidly deployed in the U.S. if needed. So it's not being deployed right now. They would have to send it out. And that would mean that if there was an EMP, they would have no communication with troop movements. So they wouldn't be able to send out the THAAD systems. No permanent THAAD deployment is noted in any of these cities, but Vandenberg Air Force Base could potentially host temporary deployments. We also have the Patriot Advanced capability. It's called 3PAC-3. The purpose of it is it provides point defense against short and medium range ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and aircraft in the terminal phase. Historically, the Patriot system has been deployed globally, but are not permanently attached to any of those cities. They are mobile and could be moved in an area if a specific threat emerges. The Patriot system could be deployed to protect critical infrastructure like ports and airports or defense facilities during a conflict. But just like the Cold War, right now they are not being deployed. During the Cold War, there was many Nike missile systems, a network of surface-to-air missile sites designed to counter Soviet bomber threats. Sites like the one in Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley, the one I talked about in Pacifica, California, were operational at that time. Some were equipped with nuclear-armed Nike Hercules missiles. These sites were deactivated in 1974, and many have been repurposed. Yeah, they're now public parks. The Nike system is no longer active, and no equivalent city-specific missile defense exists today. They are working on different systems, such as the Next Generation Interceptor, NGI. That's not supposed to be deployed until 2030. They have the hypersonic defense. The MDA is exploring defense against hypersonic missiles, which could be relevant for future protection of cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, and Seattle, Washington. But we've seen how the Iranian supersonic missiles, they actually got through. So like I said, you can go 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and you need to stock up because the U.S. missile defenses are designed for limited attacks, not large-scale assaults from advanced adversaries like Russia or China. The GMD system, for instance, is tailored for rogue state threats such as North Korea. And I guess now we can add Iran to it, and Pakistan is currently working on a missile delivery system that can reach the United States. The GMD system has a spotty test record. 8 of 19 tests failed, and real-world conditions are less predictable than scripted tests. While Vandenberg interceptors and regional Aegis ships provide coverage, Los Angeles, for an example, is not a primarily deployment site for mobile systems like THAAD or Patriot, which limits immediate local defenses. Now for Washington, Seattle, Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, the largest naval shipyard in the U.S., hosts 2 aircraft carriers and is the only West Coast dry dock capable of lifting Nimitz-class carriers. There's also the Naval Submarine Base, Bangor, Washington, home to 11 submarines, fast attack, ballistic, and guided missiles, and they have a crew of approximately 2,000 sailors. Bangor is a critical component of the U.S. nuclear triad in maritime defense. The naval base there in San Diego is the 3rd largest naval base in the U.S. It hosts numerous ships, including Aegis-equipped destroyers and cruisers, enhancing maritime missile defense and coastal protection. 2 of probably the most major targets would be Keyport, Washington. That is the Naval Undersea Warfare Center, known as Torpedo Town. Keyport focuses on research and development for naval weapons supporting undersea defense capabilities. Then there's the U.S. Naval Manchester Fuel Depot in Washington, the Department of Defense's largest fuel depot, critical for sustaining naval operations along the West Coast. They also have Coast Guard operations. The U.S. Coast Guard conducts coastal patrols and maintains maritime security with historical examples of detecting enemy landing, such as German agents in 1942. Post-Pearl Harbor, beach patrols were a key component of the West Coast defense, though these were scaled back after 1943 due to diminishing threats. So modern coastal defense relies less on fixed fortifications and more on mobile technology-driven systems like those that I have already described, and that's it. That's all they got. Yeah, it didn't make me feel good when I found out about all this. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you all. Bye.